Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm your host, Tyrus Filson. And today we got a good one. Today we're going to be talking about Sunday's matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and my Washington Commanders. But before we get started, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow on the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. But without further ado, let's get started. So right off the bat, I want to start off by saying this win was underwhelming. It didn't even feel like a win for my Commanders. It felt like we survived. We barely beat Josh Dobbs. We barely beat one of the worst teams roster-wise in the NFL. One of the worst teams, projected for this season, the Arizona Cardinals. But I would say they definitely played a lot better than, what people were saying. They definitely have more talent that's being overlooked than people are talking about. But I think we did more bad for ourselves than they did good to win. We did more detriment to ourselves than they did to win the game. So for sure, the Cardinals could have won this game. But, there were positives and negatives, and I'm going to go over it starting now. Positive, number one on my notes, rollout pass by Sam Howell.
Howell. Plenty of time. Stopping, throwing to the end zone for Robinson and a touchdown.
I mean, this play reminds me a lot of Taylor Heinicke last season, the way he would roll out, throwing the run. I loved it. It was a beautiful play. Showed grit, showed toughness, showed pocket awareness, mobility. Just a great play by Sam Howell. Just a great play, And, shout out to B-Rob for staying aware, being ready for the pass. It was just at that point in the game, it was looking like we were gonna do good things, keep the offense rolling, look pretty solid. Then later on in the game, you had Sam Howell throws a pick to Zaven Collins. First time I watched, I was like, that's just a bad read by Sam Howell. He's got to do better than that. He has to take time to read the defense before just letting it go. But watching it the second time on the replay, I did realize the pass was tipped. And I felt like, it was an honest mistake. I wasn't, reading too deeply into it as other people were. They're really trying to find a way to make or break Sam Howell at this point. And I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be patient with him. I think it's a process. And he's going to show progression each game. I really want to see that. But, it's an honest mistake. Interceptions happen. Got tipped. You just on to the next play. And I think that was Sam Howell's mindset with it. So on to the next play. As Ron Rivera, said before when talking about Sam Howell, he's pretty even kill. When bad things happen, it's on to the next play. You can't change the past. You just keep moving. Then later on, you had a Terry McLaurin fumble that was recovered by us, luckily. Then you had an Antonio Gibson fumble that was recovered by the Cardinals. You just had turnovers on turnovers on turnovers. And I don't know what it was, but the offense was not prepared for this game. I don't know if they came into it thinking, they're a slouch team. We're just going to run them over. No. The Cardinals played hard, and I gained a level of respect for them for sure. I definitely think they're going to have more wins than I thought at first. But for sure, we were 100% still the better team. We have more talent. We have better coaching. And 100%, we should have won more than what we did. This was way too close. And the turnovers were a big reason for that. A big reason. The second mistake by Sam Howell, this really deflated the stadium at that point because, there was a lot of energy in the building. There was a lot of, people just excited. And with the first turnover, with the interception, yeah, there was people down, but there was still excitement in the stadium. The second turnover, the excitement just dialed down, all the way down. With the fumble, Sam Howell holding the ball too long, offensive line collapse, strip sack for the touchdown. It was just a bad play on not just the O-line, but on Sam Howell's part as well. One, you got to get the ball out. The offensive line is struggling, so please get the ball out quicker. And then two, if you're going to hold the ball and stand in the pocket, you have to move. You have to get out of there. It's almost like you didn't have the pocket awareness, seeing the guy come, right at him. He's coming at him, sacks him, hold the ball, tuck it away. Couldn't do it. Touchdown for the Cardinals at that point in the game. Very, very disorganized on that play. You know, then in the second half, you know, with the touchdown run by Sam Howell, I felt like that was a solid run.
Goal. It's Howell. Stepping up. It's Howell on the move. Tie game. Touchdown.
Were we able to, sneak away with the win? Yes. But I think in large part that goes to credit our defense, specifically our defensive line. Our defensive line, I mean, what can I say about these guys? What can I say about these guys? The D-line showed up and they terrorized. I'm going to say that again. The D-line showed up and they terrorized. Josh Dobbs was getting terrorized all game. I'm going to say it like this. The news came out that Chase Young wasn't going to play Sunday. The news came out that he wasn't going to play against the Broncos. So, 2 games he's going to miss. With that being said, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried at all because we played all of last season without Chase. Do I want him back on the field? Yes. But at the same time, I know it's going to take development, and he has to get his health right. But I knew who was going to show up. Our D-line was still solid regardless. Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, John Allen. What can I say about these guys? What can I say about these guys? You got 2 interior D tackles that are top 10 at their position, arguably top 5. Then you go to, our edges. You go to our edges. Shout out Casey Toohill, but most importantly, shout out Montez Sweat. Pay that man. Pay Montez Sweat. This man is a beast. I love the way he played. He played menacingly. He played dominant. He played with aggression. He played with finesse. I just love the way he played all game, from the start of the game to the finish and the conclusion of the game. This man was giving that Cardinals O-line that work. I mean, he was terrorizing them. And then you go to that strip fumble recovery, off the edge, speed rushes him, hits him with a quick move, slaps the ball away. Cardinals lose the ball. Commanders get the recovery. It's just you can see the way he plays out there. He practiced everything he does. He doesn't free flow. It's really truly you practice the way you play and you play the way you practice. It's poetry in motion watching these guys work. And as a former D lineman myself, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I love it. Shout out Montez Sweat, one of the best in the game. He's going to get paid real soon. Believe that. Another note on the defensive end that I think was oftentimes overlooked in this game when, the media was talking about this matchup. How about Emmanuel Forbes? How about our rookie Emmanuel Forbes, first round pick out of Mississippi State? Y'all ain't believe. Y'all ain't believe. And I know it's only week 1, so I'm not going to size it, but y'all didn't believe. Y'all did not believe this man was going to show out like he did. Week 1 had them boys on straps. If I'm not mistaken, he only allowed 1 completion. No touchdowns. He had 1 completion that was allowed on him. Game-winning, game-sealing play. Last play of the game. Josh Dobbs throws it. 4th and 10. You want to throw it to Forbes' way? Big mistake. Don't ever let it happen again. Incomplete. Lock them up. You know what it is. Forbes is going to be in the race for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mark my words on that. He's talented. He has the speed. He has the ball skills, meaning that, he can get the picks if you throw his way. Luckily they didn't throw it his way too many times, luckily for them. But whoever does want to try Emmanuel Forbes, I think he's going to show up every time. And I'm very pleased with the way he played. Another player that was oftentimes, overlooked in this game, but I think he played amazing, had the touchdown. Brian Robinson was probably the only positive note on the offensive end. This man played lights out from the start of the game to the finish of the game, and I feel like he needed more carries. I feel like in this game, Eric Bieniemy, it was just not a good game for him. He needs to improve in the coming weeks. We're playing Denver coming up, and if we play like we did against the Cardinals, against the Denver Broncos, we're going to get blown out. I'm talking 31-13 type game. That's what we could be facing if we play like we did, against the Cardinals, against the Broncos. So definitely Eric Bieniemy needs to change up some of his play calling. And, open the playbook a bit. I know they're trying to be safe with Howell, but I feel like we could have had some big time plays. The receivers were quiet all game, and that wasn't because of the Cardinals DBs. No, I respect Buda Baker taking Terry every time. I respect Wilson taking Terry every time. And that's the same for Jahan, and that's the same for Curtis as well. But a lot of times, in this game, we're running the ball a lot. Respect to B-Rob. He got it done. He wore that D-line out. He wore the linebackers out. And, he played very well. But a lot of times we could have opened up the pass game, but we just decided not to. And a lot of times we just couldn't. We just couldn't. There's times you couldn't, and then there's times you chose not to because of the play call. So there's a lot of improvements that need to be made on Sam Howell's part and on Eric Bieniemy's part. That's 100%. Players of the game, number one, got to give it to Montez Sweat. I mean, played amazing from start to finish. One of the best pass rushers in the league, and he's proven it this season. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. I can't wait till Chase gets healthy. I really hope he can. These two together, going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be one of the best edge duos in the league. That's for sure. Number two, got Brian Robinson. I mean, he just played amazing. He can receive, he can run, he can do it all. Brian Robinson's that running back that should, he's a pure bell cow. He's a pure running back. But if he has to take off and go for a route, if he has to, receive, he can get it done. He can get it done on several levels. Number three, I got the best punter in the NFL. That's right. I'm talking about Tress Way. Tress Way. Extra teams, they played amazing. I love the way they played. They played hard. They didn't let the scoreboard dictate how they were going to play. They brought the energy. They brought the excitement. They brought the physicality. Shout out Jeremy Reeves, All-Pro Revo. Shout out All-Pro Revo. He balled out. So definitely Tress Way had a solid game, as he always does. Probably our most reliable player. And then number four, last but not least, I'm talking about the rookie. That's what I'm talking about, Emmanuel Forbes. Definitely a great, opening game for him. Great first game. And I'm looking forward to see what he does against, just better talent that he's facing, lining up against at the wide receiver position. Facing Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, and, it's going to be a tough test. Facing a better quarterback, facing a better wide receiver core, facing a better team overall. So definitely next week will be a stronger test, and I hope he can perform and keep it up. For an overall grade for week one for my Commanders, I would give us a good, I would say, C- or D+. We did not show out today. We did not show out Sunday. And for Sam Howell, I'd give him probably the same, C-, D+. But I do believe he's going to show improvement, and I'm looking forward to see what he does against the Denver Broncos. Really, really looking forward to that game. I think he'll play a whole lot better. In conclusion, the Commanders have a lot to improve on. I'm excited for what's in store for Sam Howell. I'm not giving up on Sam Howell like a lot of people want to. He's going to improve. He's going to show progress, and we're going to keep it moving. Shout out the Commanders for the win. I'm excited for what's next, and we're going to see. We're going to see. I just want to say thanks for watching. I hope your day's going well. This is the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm your host, Cyrus Wilson. Peace.
Time. Stopping, throwing to the end zone for Robinson, and a touchdown. We'll just get it off. Four-man rush. Dobbs hit as he throws. Ball is out. Commanders have it. It's Payton on top of it. It was knocked out by Sweat.
Right, and here he is off the edge. You want to talk about running this tight hoop. That's their best offensive lineman, Humphries, but you run that tight hoop, you lean into Humphries, you get around the edge, create that fumble, and there's Payne getting on the ball, having the presence to come off of his rush. Wow.